A Lesson for a Narcissist, Part 42. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. Yesterday, the Duke of Edinburgh was buried. This part of A Less Than Royal Narcissist is related to Meghan Markle naturally, but we're not going to talk specifically about her today. Instead, I'm going to address something related to her, which is of course valid to the realm of narcissism, and as a consequence of people's repeated requests for me to do so. People have observed about this particular phenomenon in the comments to my various videos and have emailed me, making their own observations about this situation and asking me for my views, analysis, and contribution. And therefore, commensurate with enabling people to understand the behaviour of others linked to the issue of narcissism, I have chosen to address this topic. When it comes to the ongoing saga which involves Meghan Markle, Prince Harry, the royal family, and then the media, individuals such as Oprah Winfrey, Piers Morgan, Gayle King, etc. This has provided us with repeated opportunities to see narcissism in action, to see how it necessitates the extension and assertion of control over other people, the relevant responses to perceived threats to that control, the assertion of control directly, often indirectly or through withdrawal, the identification of the traits appertaining to narcissism, for instance, the sense of entitlement, the lack of emotional empathy, the use of manipulation, the lack of accountability, boundary transgression. The interplay between narcissist and victim, why the victim is affected in the way that they are, why they're unable to see what is going on. And of course, this also links into the question of how other people are being affected by this newsworthy, ongoing situation involving Meghan Markle. Now, there are various groups that one can generally place people in appertaining to what has occurred. This isn't an exhaustive list by any means. First of all, there are people who know about Meghan Markle and the ongoing situation and the fact that she's married to Prince Harry, but quite honestly, don't give a rat's ass either way. They're not interested in the royal family, they're not interested in Meghan Markle, they've either got more pressing matters to attend to in their lives, given the state of the world for them, or they find other things far more entertaining than reading about two millennial millionaires complaining about their situation and a group of people who've lived a life of privilege remaining silent. They have no interest in this saga whatsoever. Then there's another group. These are the people who think that they are seeing a modern couple rejecting an anarchic institution and forging their own fresh path through life. These people don't necessarily delve deep into the information. They take a fairly superficial view of it all. They are not immersed in it, and they just look at it, they know about it, and they come to the conclusion, the royal family didn't suit these two, they're doing their own thing, fair enough, everybody's entitled to seek their own path to achieve happiness. Good luck to them, I'm not overly bothered either way. I can understand how that might upset people in the royal family, there we are. Then the other group is that they can see both sides of the argument. They can see how behaviour could be interpreted as disrespectful towards the royal family and members of Harry's family. And on the other side, they can see how Meghan Markle may well have seen that the media has been hostile towards her. They can see where unnecessary observations and comments were made about her, indeed racist comments on social media about her, and therefore they would understand that it is entirely understandable that she would want to move herself and her family away from that. And they can also see that, yes, it's about Harry wanting to protect his family after what's happened to his mother. And they can see that both sides have perhaps fouled up, and wouldn't it be good if everything could be resolved and everybody lived happily ever after. Then there are those who see that there is something off about Meghan Markle's behaviour. They perhaps saw it very early on, or, as they have watched the saga unfold, they have noticed more inconsistencies, certain behaviours, which demonstrate that something isn't quite right. They can't put their finger on it precisely, and therefore it is this group of people that reference her as a social climber, a grifter, a gold digger, someone who plays the race card, somebody who is a self-promoter, someone who's self-absorbed and a hypocrite. But they don't actually see what is really behind the behaviour. Then there are those who are supporters of the British royal family and find Meghan Markle and Prince Harry's behaviour entitled, bratish and disrespectful. They find their behaviour particularly distasteful, for instance, conducting the interview whilst Prince Philip was in hospital. They think that Meghan Markle wants to make it all about her. They think Prince Harry should grow a backbone, and they are staunch supporters of the royal family and think that even if Prince Harry and Meghan Markle want to go and do their own thing, well, if that's the case, then you shouldn't bite the hand that's been feeding you, slink off into the sunset and be done with it and live your life in Montecito and stop taking potshots and complaining. Then, of course, there are those that understand that this is narcissism in action. Those of you who've been on the receiving end of narcissism recognise that this is what has been occurring, and through my very helpful analysis have gained greater understanding of the appropriate indicators, characteristics and dynamics, so that you are able to understand fully what is happening, and that you are invested in this understanding as you watch it unfold and agree that it is the gift that keeps on giving. You see it for what it is. There are also those within that group who at first realised there was something wrong, and then, having come across my material, have realised, aha, so that's what it is, it's narcissism, and not only have gained further understanding as to the fact that it is narcissism driving Meghan Markle's behaviour, but also have then benefited from realising that they personally have been affected by narcissism, and that the bridge has been crossed, enabling them to understand what they have been involved in. And that is, as I've explained previously, part of the reason why this series has been created, to utilise a prominent figure so that people are reached who otherwise would not be reached, and then enabling them to understand not only about what's really going on, but then to have light bulbs come on with regard to their own circumstances and lead them to further listening and reading of my work. Then we have this other group, the group that is labelled as the Sugars. Obsessive followers of Meghan Markle who reject any evidence that demonstrates that the behaviour is that of a narcissist or anything else that is perceived as a criticism of Meghan Markle. This rejection is done outright, without any actual consideration of the evidence on its merits and of its own right. The Sugars have become known for their vociferous social media presence, where they shout down, in effect, any of Meghan Markle's detractors, labelling other people, never listening to what is being said to them, never considering the other side of the argument, but rejecting it out of hand. They adopt a slavish devotion to, 1, always supporting and praising Meghan Markle, and 2, attacking anybody that criticises her. The sugar can be identified by its various distinctive calls, which include, "You're a racist," "You don't know her," "You're a hater," "You're jealous," "You're obsessed with her," "She's a strong, independent woman." Let's pause there and examine some of these distinctive calls of the sugar, and to see, do they actually bear up to scrutiny? The accusation of, "You're a racist." The sugar issues this as a knee-jerk response to anybody that would criticise Meghan Markle without any due consideration that there is any actual evidence to support the comment as being racist. In part 42.2, I will continue the analysis, identifying more characteristics of the sugar, and countering the standard comments that they trot out.